The real theme of this upcoming Taurus new moon is mental discipline. Now, of course, it's a new moon, so we're talking about planting new seeds and setting new intentions. But honestly, without mental discipline, none of that can happen, especially right now, because the most powerful thing that we have right now is our attention. So, if you want to know more about how to prepare for this upcoming Taurus new moon, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new around here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you're new, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So today's video is all about the energy of the moment, which includes the upcoming new moon in Taurus happening on Saturday, May 16th. All right. So let's jump right in. So, like I said before, new moons are all about setting new intentions and planting new seeds. With this new moon, the seeds that you are planting are mental. Now, if you're somewhat familiar with astrology, you're probably like, wait a minute, this new moon is happening in Taurus. Why are we talking about mental? Well, that's because of the astrology of this new moon. All right. And the featured planet of this new moon is actually Mercury, which is why we are being urged to plant mental seeds and get our minds right. So speaking of the astrology, let's talk about the astrology real quick. So, of course, we're talking about a new moon. So it's when the sun and the moon are conjunct, meaning they operate the same place in the sky, and both the sun and the moon will be at 25 degrees of Taurus, which also speaks to the mental part of that, but I'll get into that in a second. And then Mercury is going to be right next to both the sun and the moon at this new moon in Taurus. And we're also experiencing what is called a Mercury cazimi. That is specifically when Mercury and the sun are conjunct, but at a very special degree. I believe it's 17 degrees. So Mercury won't be cazimi at the time of the new moon, but Mercury will be cazimi a couple of days beforehand. All right. So what does all of this mean? All of this means that there is a very strong mental component to this new moon. And in a sign like Taurus, this is really about getting your mental stable, stubborn even to a certain extent, so that you can plant new seeds. It's almost like being completely obsessed with something in your mind. Now, think of it this way, new moons, like, I always say it's about planting new seeds, right? Taurus is literally the sign of earth. So, this is this very fertile earth in which we are planting mental seeds. And I want that to stick out in your mind right now more than anything else. Because it's almost like whatever you obsess about mentally are ultimately going to be the seeds that get planted and the seeds that bloom. Now, I'm not saying that to scare you, but I am saying that so that you are cognizant of what you are thinking and what you are obsessing about. Because, especially right now, like I said before, attention is the most powerful thing. And our attention can be all over the place. All right, so let me explain that a little bit further. So, we have Uranus in Gemini right now, and this just happened last month. And this is a pretty big deal. Uranus will be in Gemini for 7 to 8 years. But more so than anything else, this energy lends itself to a lot of mental instability, which is almost kind of the opposite of Taurus energy, right? This mental instability is really getting us to think differently, to innovate how we think, and to take us into the future. So that's kind of what's playing in the background. And this is where attention becomes really powerful because Uranus and Gemini can have your mind all over the place. Especially with everything going on right now, there are so many things that are vying for your attention. Now, as distracting and even as frustrating as that may be, it serves a larger purpose, right? I want you to think of Uranus and Gemini as like the book, right? The book, the theme of the book is about changing how you think, innovating how you think, and bringing you into the future. However, this new moon in Taurus is a small chapter within this book. Now, while your mind is being prepped for the future, this new moon in Taurus is like, I need you to concentrate on one or maybe more than one thing right now, because at this moment in time, these are the things that we are planting. These are the seeds that we are planting. So let me give you an example, right? Perhaps you want to change careers. right? And maybe you've got Taurus as your 10th house in your natal chart. Maybe you've got Taurus as your 6th house in your natal chart. If that's the case for either of those, this is a great moon to manifest a career change or a job change, right? If you've been around the channel long enough, you'll know that yes, while new moons are all about setting new intentions, planting new seeds, and beginning the manifestation process, wherever the new moon is taking place in your natal chart is exactly what you should be focused on, what you should be focusing on when it comes to manifesting. So, for instance, like I said, if this new moon is happening in your 6th house or your 10th house, great for career. If this is happening in your 7th house, great for relationships. If it's happening in your 4th house, great for family, right? So going back to my example, if you are someone who has Taurus as your 6th house or your 10th house, great new moon to manifest a career change or opening your own business or whatever it is, right? Now you want to fix your mind, and I use the word fix intentionally here. You want to fix your mind on the end result, a stable new career, a stable new job, a steady stream of new clients, even, right? This is what you want to be mentally obsessed with right now, because those are going to be the mental seeds that you plant. Now, this is all happening, or let me not say it's all happening. You have the opportunity to make this happen during a time when you may be hearing a lot on the internet about how there are no jobs, right? And this is very loud. It's like someone's on a megaphone saying there are no jobs to be had right now. Or you have this influx of information when it comes to the type of services that you can provide. Maybe you are inundated with thinking about creating digital products and you become fixated on that, but maybe that doesn't work for your particular career or your particular business. The point that I'm trying to make is at this time, when you're given the opportunity to fixate on something that you want to begin, you're going to be inundated with a whole bunch of noise and distractions, and maybe even things that seem contrary to what it is that you want to create right now. Now, everything works in a grander design. All of these distractions serve a purpose, but your ability to focus and become mentally obsessed with the things that you want to plant and see grow at this point in time also serves a purpose. So you kind of have to be very intentional about what you're thinking about, what you want to do, what seeds you want to plant right now, what you want to have in the future in terms of stability. Because this is the new moon where we focus on stability. This is the new moon where we focus on not something that we want that's like really flash in the pan or here today, gone tomorrow. This is one of those moons where it's like, listen, I want something tangible. So again, look to see where Taurus is in your natal chart so you can decide what tangible thing you want to give life to right now, what tangible thing you want to plant the mental seeds for right now. And so maybe you're thinking, all right, but I don't really know what part of my natal chart this is happening in, or I'm not necessarily sure how to use this energy to my advantage. Then you will definitely want to check out my signature natal chart experience, which is called the Blueprint. This is not a regular reading. This is actually an experience because I've developed a signature framework that really makes this reading more like three readings in one. So obviously we go through your natal chart, right? But we also talk about your progressed natal chart because that lets you know what chapter you are in right now. And then I also talk about the current transit. So you know exactly what parts of your natal chart are being activated right now. So again, it's three readings in one. So it's not just, okay, here's your natal chart. Good luck. This is here's your natal chart. This is the chapter you're in right now. And this is also what's happening at the moment. What parts of your natal chart are being activated. So if you're someone who's like, okay, I really want this stable thing in my life and I want to plant the seeds, but I'm not sure how this works, this service, the blueprint, is definitely for you right now. All right. And so if you're interested or if you want to know more, the first step is to book a free 15-minute clarity call. That way we can discuss the service at length. We can discuss whether it's even right for you, or perhaps there are some of my other services that may be a better fit at this time. We can discuss all of that during the clarity call. And so if you're looking to book the clarity call and get on my books for that, the link to that is in the description box below. However, if you are sure that the blueprint is what you need in your life right now, because chances are it probably is, then I have the link to the blueprint in the description box as well, so you can book that straight away. All right. Anyway, back to this new moon in Taurus. So now I want to talk about why this new moon is slightly different and perhaps sort of distill the information in a way that really makes sense for the energy of the moment. Because if you were to take this at surface level, it's like new moon in Taurus. Okay, this is a great sort of, new moon to manifest a car or manifest a house or whatever, but it goes a lot deeper than that. What I love about the energy of this new moon is two things. Number one, because of the presence of Mercury, it really reminds us of one of the actually first universal law, which is that all is mental, right? It reminds us that everything begins in the mind first. So even though this is happening in a fixed earth sign like Taurus, right, where it's like you're sort of tasked with doing something practical. And by way of rituals, one of the things that I used to love to suggest, and I still do to a certain extent, when we're talking about like a new moon in the sign of like Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, literally plant the seed. So one of the things, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but one of the things that you could do is, and you don't even have to be someone who's into gardening or planting. This could be like really elementary school experiment, right? Like remember, depending on how old you are, in grade school, sometimes they would have you like cut an egg carton in half, right? Put dirt in the little egg sections and then plant a seed and then water it and watch it grow. That's a very worthwhile exercise to do during something like a Taurus new moon, right? You would take the seed, you would imbue it with your energy, right? You would rub it between your hands, you would speak your affirmations over it, and then plant it. That's a very good new moon ritual for this particular new moon, right? But anyway, this is a great reminder that all is mental and everything starts in the mind, right? That's number one. Number two, the numerology of this new moon is seven, right? Because this is happening at the 25th degree of Taurus. Now, I love the number seven in numerology because it encompasses intuition and intellect. Intellect being the key word here because Mercury is the star of the show when it comes to this new moon, right? So we are using our intuition, we're using our intellect, and we are fixating our minds almost obsessively on this thing that we want, this seed that we want to plant, this thing that we want to see grow and flourish in our lives. We're doing that right now. The other thing that sort of gives more information and color to the flavor of this new moon is the fact that both the sun, the moon, and Mercury are all going to be in what is called the third decan of Taurus. Now, astrology is an endless rabbit hole of information. You can start very surface level and get very deep and granular. Decans in astrology, and this pertains to traditional Hellenistic Western tropical astrology, right? Decans essentially divide every zodiac sign into three parts, and each part is ruled by a different planet. So you have Taurus, which is overall ruled by Venus, but then Taurus can be broken down into three further subdivisions. Okay. I'm actually not going to get into the specifics right now. I actually have a video coming out later in the week all about this. So stay tuned for that. Set notifications and subscribe. All right. But in any event, this new moon is happening in the third decan of Taurus, which is ruled by Saturn. This is why I said that this new moon is all about mental discipline. It's conjunct Mercury, mental, and requires discipline, Saturn. That's essentially all you need to know for this new moon. So, mental discipline. And this goes back to what I was saying before about how there's so many distractions and noises and notifications and disinformation and misinformation happening right now. But this new moon is like, listen, quiet all of that and fixate your mind on what it is that you want to manifest. Fix your mind almost obsessively on these seeds that you want to plant. Now, this might not be easy because these distractions are really loud. And without that mental discipline, you could be swayed mentally either way. So you could have the best intentions to manifest something like a new car, a home, or whatever it is, right? but mentally you're unsteady. And that's definitely the antithesis of Taurus energy. Taurus is fixed, it's steady, right? So these distractions could be really loud. These distractions could sway you mentally. Try your best not to have that happen. And one of the best ways that you can really tap into that energy of mental discipline, it's going to be affirmations. It's going to be scripting. It's going to be repeating the same thought over and over again. Now, some of us are already used to that because we're not new to the manifestation game. But if you're new to the channel, which, as an aside, you might be because we just crossed the 4,000 subscriber threshold last week. And I'm super excited and grateful for all of you who have supported, who are newcomers to the channel. We are on the road to 10K subscribers. So share this with friends, get them to subscribe too. But there may be a lot of new people here. So with that, maybe you're new to the manifestation game, right? For this particular new moon, when it comes to rituals, I already talked about literally planting a seed, right? But it's also a great new moon to listen to affirmations, to write affirmations repeatedly. Like you don't need to do it necessarily robotically, and you don't need to do it for an extended period of time, just until you feel solid in this thought, in this intention, in this affirmation, right? If you're feeling shaky, keep repeating it to yourself, whether you're listening to it, uh, affirmations on loop, a subliminal, whether you're scripting and you're actually literally writing out the phrase 58 million times, or you're writing out your story repeatedly, those modalities will really benefit you at this new moon in Taurus. All right. And then the last thing I'll say about this is protect your mind, protect your thoughts. If there's something that you truly want, something that you truly desire, something that you want to give life to, make sure that you don't let other narratives, other stories, misinformation, or anything like that taint this seed that you are planting right now. It's super important. The most valuable thing, and Taurus is all about value. The most valuable thing at this time and with this new moon in Taurus is your attention and your thoughts. So guard them. Be stubborn about the things that you want to manifest at this time, right? Don't let anyone dissuade you. Don't let anyone try to tell you differently. If you know something, know it like you know it, like you know it, and plant those seeds to make it happen. All right. And that's essentially the energy of the moment and the energy for this new moon in Taurus. All right. So sound off in the comments below. Let me know where Taurus is in your natal chart. And if you're willing to share, let us know what you want to manifest at this time so that we can encourage you. If you're going to let us know what you're manifesting. We should all be giving you affirmations to recite or to script or giving you encouragement, right? I will not tolerate any negativity over here. So let's encourage each other. Sound off in the comments what Taurus is in your natal chart and perhaps what you want to manifest at this new moon. All right, my loves, thank you so much. I hope that this video was extremely informative and valuable, as Taurus loves it to be, right? And so hopefully this will give you your marching orders for this new moon in Taurus. And if you found this video helpful, valuable, informative, definitely like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're watching this on mobile, press that hype button. And if you like this content, if you want to see more of this content, then the best way to support the channel is to become a channel member. So as a member, you get early access to videos, but more importantly, you get members only videos once or twice a month. And also there will be members only live streams. I call those Chart Lab. This is where we dissect natal charts and where you have the opportunity to ask questions about your particular natal chart. So stay tuned for that. Once we get more members into the channel, I will be implementing that. So if you're interested, or if you just want to support the channel generally, become a channel member. It's called the Inner Orbit, and you get a lot of nice perks and bonuses. All right, my loves, thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you nothing but the absolute best for this new moon in Taurus and beyond, and I will see you in my next video. All right, my loves, take care.